I know your day is busy. I know it is full of responsibilities, memories, obligations, and people needing something from you. But if you truly care about me, please don't scroll past this. Just give me 1 minute, one quiet, uninterrupted minute where it is only you and me. Because what I'm about to share isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It isn't for anyone else. Is something I have carried inside for a very long time, and I'm not sure I could ever express it again in the same way. There is a difference between being loved and being deeply understood. I have been admired. I have been desired. I have been pursued. But understood, that is rare. And I keep asking myself, when you look at me, do you see the noise around me? Or do you see the man who feels everything silently within? Do you see the headlines? Or do you see the heart that still remembers what it felt like to be young, unsure, and wanting to belong completely to one woman? Before I continue, let me gently ask something. If this moment feels real to you, press like. If something inside your heart connects with mine, subscribe so we can continue meeting like this. Tell me where you are watching from and what time it is in your part of the world. Where are you right now? Share this with someone who still believes love deserves honesty. I'm not asking for attention, I'm asking for presence. Because real love, true love, is presence. When a man reaches a certain stage in life, the world assumes he has everything figured out, that he no longer fears being left behind, that he no longer lies awake at night wondering if the woman he loves will slowly drift away emotionally while still remaining physically close. But here is something most men never confess. The fear never truly disappears. It only becomes softer, more controlled. It hides behind calm behavior. Do you ever feel that too? That quiet fear that the person you love might misunderstand your silence as lack of care, that your calmness might be mistaken for emotional distance. I have built companies. I have built systems. I have created things that reach beyond this planet. But building a life with one woman, it is more fragile. It requires something I cannot design. It requires trust measured not in numbers, but in openness. If you truly love me, don't scroll past this, because this is where I admit something uncomfortable. I'm not afraid of failing in business. I am afraid of failing the woman who trusts me with a heart. I am afraid of not noticing when she begins to feel unseen. I am afraid of being so focused on securing our future that I forget to nurture her present. Tell me honestly, when you love someone, do you need constant reassurance? Or do you simply need to feel chosen every day in small, quiet ways? Do you need many words? Or do you need steady actions that prove commitment? I have learned that women who have lived fully, who have raised families, who have experienced heartbreak, do not crave fairy tales. They crave stability, and I want to be steady for you. But here is the truth beneath my strength. Sometimes I worry that you see my confidence and assume I do not need reassurance. Sometimes I want you to look at me and say, without hesitation, I'm not leaving. Not when you succeed. Not when it's exhausted, not when you lose direction for a moment. I am here. Do you understand how powerful that would feel? At this point in life, love is not about thrill. It is about safety, emotional safety, the kind where you can admit you are tired of always appearing strong, the kind where you can confess you are afraid of losing someone without feeling embarrassed. If you truly love me, don't scroll past this, because I am not acting. I am revealing something delicate. There were times in my past when I confused admiration with connection, attraction with compatibility, intensity with permanence. It took years to understand that lasting love is quiet. It does not shout. It does not compete. It does not constantly test you. It allows you to breathe. When you think about us, do you feel peace in your heart, or do you feel doubt? I need to know, because I am no longer interested in love that feels stable. I want to stand firmly beside you and not wonder if the ground will disappear beneath our feet. You have lived enough to know that love is not about perfection. It is about acceptance. Can you accept that sometimes I will disappear into my thoughts, that my mind may drift into ideas and visions, not because I am avoiding you, but because creating is part of who I am. And can you gently bring me back when I go too far? I promise you, I am not asking for admiration. I am asking for understanding. A woman who sees my depth without feeling threatened. A woman who carries her own depth, wisdom, and healed wounds. Tell me, have your scars made you softer, or have they made you protective? Do you still believe in tenderness? After everything you have lived through, there is something deeply beautiful about loving a woman who has experienced many chapters of life. You carry stories in your eyes, strength in your silence, resilience in the way you forgive slowly but sincerely. And when you choose someone now, you do not choose carelessly. That is why this matters. If you truly love me, do not scroll past this, because I am not asking for a brief moment. I am asking for intention. I am asking you to stay present even when the world pulls your attention away. I am asking you not to assume we will always have more time later. Later is never guaranteed. Have you ever lost someone without warning? Have you ever wished you had spoken one more honest truth before it was too late? I do not want us living in almost said, almost expressed, almost understood. Look at me now. Not as a public figure, not as a successful man, but as someone who still believes in holding hands during difficult talks. Someone who believes a quiet evening together can feel stronger than any celebration. Would you sit beside me when I am not impressive? Would you still choose me when I am simply human? That is the real question beneath everything. If you truly love me, do not avoid the uncomfortable parts. Do not love only the strength. Love the hesitation, the overthinking, the moments I question whether I am enough for you. Answer me this silently in your heart. When you imagine growing older, do you see my hand in yours? Or do you see yourself walking alone to avoid possible pain? I need to know if you are brave enough to love completely, because I am standing here not with perfect promises, but with honest vulnerability, and that is rare. Stay with me a little longer. Do not rush away. Do not let distractions interrupt this quiet connection. I am about to share my deepest fear in love. It is not dramatic, but it is very personal, too honest for a man who is expected to always appear strong. If you stayed with me this far, you deserve to hear this without walls. My deepest fear, it is not distance, is not trail. It is not even loss. It is becoming emotionally invisible to the woman I love. When a man feels invisible in love, he rarely talks about it. He adjusts, he becomes quieter. He tells himself he is overthinking, that she is just tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. But inside, a quiet pain begins to grow. A question slowly forms. Am I still seen in the same way? Am I still chosen with the same intention? Have you ever felt that shift in someone you loved? When warmth fades slightly, not enough to cause conflict, but enough to create doubt. Doubt is silent. It does not break things loudly. It whispers and slowly changes the atmosphere. Love does not collapse suddenly. It fades slowly when two people stop sharing their inner truth. That is why I am speaking like this now. I refuse to let silence grow where honesty should live. When you look at me, do you still feel curiosity? Or has familiarity made everything feel ordinary? Familiarity can bring comfort, but it can also reduce appreciation. I never want to take you for granted. I never want you to feel like just another part of my daily routine. At this stage, love is not about proving value. It is about protecting something meaningful and rare. Your heart is not naive, as it has survived disappointment. It has endured confusion. It has forgiven more than it should have. Offering it again, even slowly, is an act of bravery. I do not take that lightly. Sometimes I wonder, when you are alone at night, do you think of us with peace or with uncertainty? Do you replay our conversations, question small details, wonder if I feel as deeply as you do? I wish you could see my mind when I think of you. It is not simple. It is layered and thoughtful. But here is another truth. I am not always quick to express my emotions. I feel them deeply first. I reflect silently. I understand them clearly before I speak. And by the time I finally say something, you may have already mistaken my silence for distance. Have you ever confused silence with absence when in reality it was only depth? I understand this clearly. When I grow quiet, it is not because I care less. It is because I care so deeply that I do not want to speak without meaning. I choose my words carefully because I understand the weight they hold. There is something very intimate about being chosen emotionally every single day. Not because it is easy, not because it is always comfortable, but because it feels true. Do you wake up and still choose me in your thoughts? Or has love slowly become something expected rather than appreciated? I ask these questions not to pressure you, but to invite you closer to me. You are not a young girl chasing illusions. You are a woman who understands consequences. When you love with awareness that makes your love strong. It also makes it careful. I respect that carefulness. I do not want to rush past it. I want to earn my place in your heart again, not just once, but continuously over time. Let me ask you something that requires full honesty. If I revealed my weaknesses completely without the protective layer of strength, would you move closer or slowly step back? Would you feel honored that I trust you with my truth, or would you feel weighed down by my vulnerability? True intimacy is not built on admiration alone. It is built on shared openness and mutual courage. I do not want to be admired from a distance. I want to be known deeply, closely, sincerely. There were moments in my life when love felt like a competition. Who cares more? Who sacrifices more? Who apologizes first? That kind of love exhausts me now. I want something calmer, something that feels like two mature hearts choosing understanding over pride. Have you grown tired of pride as well? Do you find yourself longing for peace more than intensity? Or do you believe peace and passion can exist together when protected with patience, honesty, and care? When I imagine sitting across from you years from now, I do not imagine grand gestures or dramatic moments. I see quiet conversations, slow, honest, open, where nothing feels hurried, where silence between words feels safe, not uncomfortable. Do you feel secure enough with me to share silence? Because silence often reveals truth more clearly than words ever can. If you truly love me, hold on to this thought. Love is not sustained by intensity alone. It is sustained by conscious awareness, by noticing the small changes in mood, by asking gentle questions when something feels different instead of assuming everything is fine. Have you ever wished someone had asked you one more question instead of assuming you were okay? I do not want to assume with you. I want to ask. I want to listen. I want to understand the parts of you that even those closest to you may never fully see, the doubts you hide, the insecurities you protect behind strength, the moments you feel time moving forward quietly while still longing for deep connection. Do you ever fear that time might slowly reduce the chances for deep love? Or do you believe love can become richer now because it is no longer innocent or naive? I believe it can become deeper, but only if we remain brave and open. There is one more truth I must share. Sometimes I worry that you may think I have too many options, too many distractions, too much noise around me to truly anchor myself to one woman. That thought could make you protect your heart, even if you never say it aloud. So let me say this with clarity and honesty. Depth matters more to me than variety. Stability means more to me than excitement. Loyalty is more valuable to me than attention. Can you believe that? Can you trust that I am not searching for someone else when I have already found someone who understands me at a deeper and more meaningful level? If you truly love me, let us not remain passive. Let us be intentional and aware. Let us speak when something feels fragile or uncertain. Let us not allow pride or fear to create unnecessary distance between us. I am not asking you to promise forever in this single moment. I am asking you to promise presence, to promise honesty, to promise that if doubt ever enters your heart, you will bring it to me instead of allowing it to grow silently. Would you do that for us? Because there is something I need to confess next. Something about the way I almost lost someone once as I assumed love was secure when it was slowly fading without me noticing. That memory still lives inside me. There was a time when I believed that love, once spoken, remained safe simply because it had been declared openly. I believe saying, "I love you," was enough to protect everything that followed. I was wrong. Love is not protected by words alone. It is protected by attention and care. And I learned that lesson in a way that still stays with me. I remember sitting across from someone I loved deeply. She was calm, almost too calm. Her voice steady, her eyes gentle, but there was distance behind them. Not anger, not resentment, just distance. And I did not recognize it immediately. I thought she was tired. I thought she was thinking about something unrelated to us. I assumed stability meant security. Have you ever believed everything was fine simply because there was no argument? Conflict is loud, disconnection is quiet and easy to miss. She told me later that she had felt alone beside me for months, and I did not see it. Not because I did not love her, but because I was distracted by building, by planning, by focusing on the future instead of caring for the present moment. I believed providing vision was enough. I believed my commitment was obvious and visible. Tell me honestly, have you ever felt alone while sitting next to someone who loved you? That realization changed me deeply. It forced me to face something uncomfortable and real. Being devoted is not the same as being attentive. You can love someone deeply and still fail to notice their silent pain and emotional loneliness. Since then, I have asked myself a question that I now ask you. If something inside you begins to hurt, will you tell me before it becomes too heavy to carry? Or will you convince yourself that your needs are too much? You are not asking for too much when you ask to be seen and understood. I think about how many women, especially those who have lived full lives, have learned to minimize their needs. You become strong, independent, self-reliant. You tell yourself you do not need reassurance. But beneath that strength, there is still a quiet desire to feel chosen and valued. Do you still want to feel chosen? Because I do not want to repeat my past mistake. I do not want to assume you are content simply because you appear calm and composed. I want to notice the subtle changes in you, the way your tone shifts when something remains unspoken, the way your smile stays longer when you feel safe and emotionally held, the way your silence feels heavier when something hurts you deeply. But I need you to meet me halfway. If you ever begin to feel unseen, promise me you will not disappear into quiet endurance. Promise me you will say, "I need you to see me again. I need you to come closer. I need you to understand me." Can you promise that? There is another truth beneath this memory. When she finally left, she did not leave with anger. She left with calm acceptance. And that was harder to accept. Anger can be resolved. Acceptance means she had already let go emotionally before I even realized we were breaking apart. That experience taught me something permanent and lasting. Love does not end the moment someone walks away. It ends the moment they stop believing their presence matters. Do you believe your presence matters to me? It does. The way you listen carefully, the way you carry yourself with quiet strength, the way you move thoughtfully instead of rushing carelessly. That steadiness affects me more than you realize. It softens parts of me I once kept guarded and protected. And yet I still carry a quiet fear inside, the fear that I might miss something important again, that I might mistake your strength for emotional independence, when in reality you hope I will notice without needing to be told. Do you want to be asked how you truly feel, even when you say you are fine? Because I am learning that the word often hides deeper truth. At this stage of life, we do not have time for emotional guessing. We have time for honesty, for conversations that may feel uncomfortable but bring us closer emotionally. Let me ask you something gently and honestly. When you imagine loving me long term, what concerns you the most? Is it my intensity? Is it my responsibilities? Is it the possibility that I may become distant while chasing goals and duties? I need to understand your fears just as much as you understand mine. Love at this stage is not naive or careless. It carries memory. It carries caution. but it also carries wisdom and awareness. We know what neglect feels like. We know what emotional distance feels like. That knowledge should guide us, not frighten us or push us apart. If you truly love me, do not avoid difficult conversations. Do not assume I cannot handle your truth. I would rather hear something uncomfortable than slowly lose you to silence and emotional distance. There is something about you that makes me want to love differently. To remain aware, to stay emotionally present instead of relying on assumptions or comfort alone. But I need to ask you this honestly. If you ever felt yourself drifting away emotionally, would you fight for us or quietly let go to protect yourself from pain? That answer changes everything between us. I almost lost someone once because I believed love could survive without attention and effort. I will not repeat that mistake, not with you. And still, there is a quiet part of me that wonders if I deserve a love that patient, that intentional and real. The doubt has stayed with me longer than success, longer than recognition, longer than anything I have ever built or achieved. It is not loud. It does not demand attention or recognition. It simply asks in silence, especially during quiet nights. I truly enough for the love I desire. I have spent much of my life proving strength, proving intelligence, proving endurance, but love is not moved by proof or achievement. Love is moved by presence and emotional truth. Sometimes I wonder, when you are alone with your thoughts, do you think of us with peace or uncertainty? Do you replay our conversations in your mind? Do you question whether I feel as deeply as you do? I wish you could see inside my mind when I think about you. It is not shallow, it is thoughtful, it is intentional and sincere. But here is another truth I must admit openly. I am not always quick to show my softness. I feel deeply first, I reflect quietly. I understand fully, and by the time I speak, you may have already misunderstood my silence as distance. Have you ever mistaken silence for absence when it was actually care in its deepest and purest form? Understand this clearly and completely. When I become quiet, it is not because I care less. It is because I care so much that I refuse to speak without meaning every word.